A big surprise emerged among fans when Jungkook, the youngest member of BTS, openly praised Jimin as the pillar of strength in the dynamics of this world-renowned group. How could a global idol known for his extraordinary resilience place his fellow member as the figure who strengthens him? This question immediately shook the ARMY community and sparked a long discussion. What is the true meaning of this acknowledgement, and what impact does it have on the internal narrative of BTS that has long been under the world spotlight? Jungkook's statement was not mere small talk. In the context of group psychology, such an acknowledgement can be viewed as an important representation of interpersonal bonds that form the foundation for a team's sustainability. Jungkook emphasized that Jimin is not only a colleague, but also a source of emotional strength who maintains his balance in facing the pressures of the entertainment industry. This fact surprised the public because all this time many have seen Jungkook as an independent, tough figure, even often considered the golden magne who never falters. The reaction of ARMY cannot be underestimated. Hashtags surrounding Jungkook's praise of Jimin immediately occupied global trends, signaling how sensitive fans are to BTS's internal dynamics. Behind the euphoria, there is an interesting aspect. Fans actually discovered a side of vulnerability in Jungkook, which has rarely been displayed openly. By naming Jimin as the one who strengthens him, Jungkook indirectly invited the public to understand that BTS's great success was born from the interaction of mutual support among members, not from individuality alone. When examined further, this statement reveals a new dimension of the relationship between Jungkook and Jimin. Academically, this phenomenon can be positioned within the framework of social support theory, in which the presence of a certain individual in a group plays an important role as a psychological support for other members. Jimin, with his warm character, deep empathy, and consistency in supporting his fellow members, becomes a real representation of this theory. Jungkook, who is known for his boundless energy and outstanding performance, apparently needs a figure like Jimin to maintain his emotional stability. The public also judged that Jungkook's statement was not just a personal compliment, but a symbolic form of BTS's narrative of togetherness, which they have often emphasized since debut. BTS has long highlighted the value of teamwork makes the dream work, but this time the acknowledgement appeared with a more personal and intimate tone. When Jungkook openly stated that Jimin is his source of strength, that narrative transformed into an authentic testimony that demonstrates how the group's internal power manifests in real life. Furthermore, this acknowledgement highlights the emotional aspect that is often forgotten in analyses about BTS. Many observers focus on their musical achievements, choreography, or cultural impact, but rarely explore how interpersonal relationships shape their endurance in facing global pressure. Jungkook's praise of Jimin opens an academic space for discussion on emotional resilience in the entertainment industry. It reminds us that behind the spotlight and grand stage, there is a process of mutual reinforcement that drives the sustainability of a global phenomenon. Not only that, this acknowledgement also reinforces Jimin's position as a central figure in BTS. All this time, Jimin has been known for his caring attitude, emotional maturity, and capacity to support his fellow members. However, Jungkook's direct acknowledgement places him at a new level, from merely a warm member to a pillar of strength with a strategic function in maintaining the group's balance. In other words, this statement shows that Jimin's charisma lies not only on stage, but also in his role as an internal supporter. For ARMY, this phenomenon brings both pride and emotion. Many fans see Jungkook's acknowledgement as authentic proof of the brotherhood that has formed among BTS members. In the midst of the tough competition in the entertainment industry, BTS stands as an example of a group that survives not merely because of individual talent, but because of a strong foundation of solidarity. And Jimin, in this case, emerges as the true representation of that solidarity. Academically, this case also opens up discussion about how celebrity discourse works in shaping public perception. When Jungkook elevated Jimin as his source of strength, The public did not only see the personal side, but also built a collective narrative that reinforces BTS's image as a group that supports one another. This narrative strengthens their appeal in the eyes of the global public, while also adding legitimacy that their success is the result of collective work, not mere individual luck. In the end, a single sentence of praise from Jungkook was able to trigger an extraordinary wave of reaction. He not only expressed gratitude, but also reshaped the way the public views BTS's internal relationships. For fans, this statement becomes a reminder that behind the cheers of the stage, there is a human story about mutual reinforcement. For academics, this phenomenon is real evidence of how interpersonal communication within a global group can transform into public discourse that shapes a collective image, and the question arises, if Jimin is the pillar of strength for Jungkook, then who is the pillar for Jimin? This is the question that makes the discourse surrounding BTS never cease to stir curiosity, while also affirming that their dynamics are far more complex than just performance on stage. When the global public listened to Jungkook's statement placing Jimin as the pillar of strength, the effect was not just momentary euphoria. The statement expanded the space of interpretation, both for fans and for observers of popular culture. For a simple sentence, in fact, opens deeper layers of meaning about how a group that has already achieved global phenomenon status still requires internal balance to endure, viewed through the lens of group psychology. What Jungkook revealed reflects the basic principle of emotional scaffolding, a condition in which individuals in a group function as psychological supports for one another. In the case of BTS, Jimin appears as a figure who not only plays a role in stage performance, but also in providing emotional stability. This support becomes crucial, considering the South Korean entertainment industry is known for its harshness, coupled with global exposure that often presents an extraordinary burden of expectations. Jungkook's praise also challenges the stereotypes that have long been attached to him. As the golden magne, the public often perceives Jungkook as a perfect figure without flaws. Yet the acknowledgement that he needs strength from Jimin reveals a more authentic human side. In the framework of public communication, this creates emotional closeness with fans. Jungkook is not only an idol to be admired, but also a human being who needs support, just like everyone else. For ARMY, this moment created a wave of emotion. Social media was filled with interpretive narratives. Some saw it as a form of genuine friendship. Others associated it with the typical Korean hyung-dong-sing dynamic, in which the brotherly relationship, though not biological, becomes the basis of solidarity. Hashtags related to this acknowledgement immediately reached the top of global platforms, indicating that a single sentence from Jungkook could move millions of people to speak in one voice.